We'll call to order the Douglasville City Council meeting for tonight, our regular meeting, which is Monday, February the 5th, 2025. And we'll ask Pastor Dr. Stephen Che Callis, pastor of First Church of the Nazarene of Douglasville, if he would please come forward and do the invocation. After that, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by the Mayor Pro Tem. Please stand for the invocation.
Good evening, y'all. Good to see you again. I want to commend you for your leadership. Thank you for it. Both corporately and individually, you are a blessing to the people of this community, and we honor you tonight. Let us pray. Father in heaven, we thank you that you are a loving God and that your eyes are always upon us. And we thank you for your goodness and your mercy and your grace. And I thank you tonight, Lord, again for these leaders of our community, and pray your blessings on them, that they would find in you wisdom and strength and courage. I pray for them, especially, God, when they have to make hard decisions, that you would encourage them in their leadership roles. And tonight, Lord, I lift to you our educators, our city and our city first responders, and our county first responders. Thank you for them, for their provision and protection, and pray that you would be their protector and defender. And now would you anoint this time tonight, and may our minds be focused on the needs at hand and seeking the best for our community. I give you praise and make this prayer in the name of Jesus our Lord. Amen. The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Mayor Pro Tem, and thank you, Pastor Callis, for the intercessory prayer. We appreciate it. My name is Rochelle Robinson. I'd like to welcome you to the Douglasville City Council. I'm the mayor of the city of Douglasville, and this is a voting meeting. It's a little different from the work session that we had last Thursday. This meeting, we will be taking official action on the items that were discussed last Thursday. So the meeting will go a little differently unless you have new information to bring forward. It'll go pretty quickly. This is a city council meeting where official action will be taken, and if the business that you would like to discuss is not listed as an agenda item, there will be ample time under the comments from citizens and delegates for you to make your concerns or comments. I'll go over a few protocol items, and then we'll get into the meat of the meeting. I ask that you please keep your comments and presentations on a professional level, dealing with the facts that are important for this governing body to make our decisions. We will not take comments that are considered by the chair to be of a personal attack on any individual or group of individuals. If you deviate from this requirement and you have a second deviation, we'll ask that you will be moved from the chambers. One person speaking at a time. Please do not applaud or react to speakers. Speak from the audience or carry on a conversation when you're at the podium. When you come to the podium, we ask that you would address all of your concerns and comments to myself and or council members, so that committee chairperson. We're only required to accept public comments during the required public hearings. And if you have a cell phone or electronic device, we ask that you would please put those in silent mode or turn those off until after the meeting, so they will not be disruptive. This is how the meeting will take place and how the agenda items will be handled. The committee chairperson will read their agenda item. Then that person representing that agenda item or applicant will come forward, give us your name and address for the record when you're at the podium, and then you can proceed with your information or your concerns. Myself and council members may possibly ask clarifying questions to help us make a determination before we vote tonight. After that, the committee chairperson, if it's a public hearing, will have statements from the audience. There are a totality 20 minutes for those in favor and 20 minutes for those in opposition, and each person has 5 minutes to speak. When you come to the podium, give us your name and address for the record, and then you have 5 minutes to talk to us. If you would like to speak, there are speaker cards outside. They're blue cards. You fill that out, fill that information out, hand it to Ms. Vicki Acker to my right in a beautiful mint jacket, and then you can come forward and talk to us. This is not a question and answer format or debate. We're here to hear the information, deliberate, and make our decisions. That's a lot of talking. Hopefully, we're all on the same page, and we all have an understanding on how the meeting will run this evening. So now we will move on. There are paper agendas outside if you'd like to have a paper agenda, but if not, you can follow us on the screen above. So we'll move on now to the committees. We've already had the pledge and the announcements. We are at item number 5, which is approval of the agenda. So I will open the floor for a motion for adoption of the regular meeting agenda for February 3rd, 2025.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you so much. I have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Coach. It's been properly moved and second, moved by Mayor Pro Tem, second by Coach Watts, Councilman Watts, for the adoption of the regular meeting agenda for February 3rd, 2025. All those in, well, do you have any questions or comments from council?
No, ma'am, but my iPad's not doing anything right now.
It isn't working? Oh, no, we have IT technology concerns. Here comes the super IT man, dun, 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 dun.
And watch this.
Mr.
fix
Jenkins.
It, but,
You have a paper agenda in the interim?
I do.
Is her voting option's not coming up, Madam Mayor?
Okay. So we probably need to raise hands until, or do voice vote until the iPad is fixed. So while Mr. Jenkins is working on Councilmember Miller N's iPad, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed, nay. I haven't heard any nays, so it looks like the ayes are unanimous. So, thank you. So the adoption of the regular meeting agenda for tonight is approved. Now we'll move on to approval of the minutes. I'll open the floor for a motion to approve the minutes of the January 16th, 2025 legislative work session and the minutes of January 21st, 2025 regular meeting. So that's item 25-036. Do you have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman Watts. There's a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Hudson. It's been properly moved in second to approve item 25-036. Do we have any concerns, comments, questions from council members? Nope, I don't see any. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. No nays. 25-036 is unanimously approved. We'll move on then to do the consent agenda. I open the floor for a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember Miller N. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Hudson. It's been properly moved in second, moved by Councilmember Miller N. and second by Councilmember Hudson to approve the consent agenda. Do we have any corrections, concerns, comments from council about the consent agenda? I don't see any. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The consent agenda is approved as presented. We'll move on then to item number 8, and that is Economic Development Committee, chaired by Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem, City Councilmember Terry Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. There's no business under the Economic Development Committee at this time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Finance Committee, Councilmember Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business in finance tonight.
Thank you, Councilman Watts. Housing and Community Affairs, I'll ask Mayor Pro Tem if you will take the next 3 committees, so just be on
Yes.
deck.
Yes, Madam Mayor. There's no business at this time under the Housing and Community Affairs Committee.
Thank you, sir. Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee.
There's no business under the Legislative and Intergovernmental Committee at this time, Mayor.
Last one, Personnel and Organization Committee.
There's absolutely no business under the Personnel and Organization Committee at this time, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. I appreciate you. Planning and Development Committee, there is business there. That is chaired by Councilmember Nicole Miller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome.
We do have one item to go over this evening. That's item 24-415. It says to consider a request for special land use permit for a self-storage facility for property zoned light industrial. It's being 3.558 acres at 2203 South Flat Rock Road in Land Lot 190, District 2, Section 5, Parcel ID 0109. And I believe Mr. Dana Gray is down here to go over this with us and answer any further questions that we may have.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Again, this is an application for a special land use permit for a mini warehouse and self-storage. Just to update the site plan that you see, the applicant has changed. They removed the single-story storage units at the rear, and now they are proposing a two-story at the front of the site. Another update is they are more than willing to work with us regarding the design, so we will be able to work closely with them. At the last meeting, what else came up was the buffer between the light industrial site at the property line and a residential. So they are required to have hardy evergreens, and I just wanted to be able to explain that to you. So they are kind of sort of like shaped like a Christmas tree, so they grow pretty big. They'll have hardy evergreen shrubs as well, rocks and grass. So with those hardy trees, because of the size that they'll grow, it'll create a great buffer, a visual buffer between the residential and the storage facility.
Okay.
And the applicant is here this evening.
Thank you. And I think you said, or we said that that's 150 foot of total buffer.
Yeah, about that, yes,
And
yes.
then there will also be a fence in there, is that correct?
Yes, they're required to have a fence.
Okay,
And the unit will be fully climate controlled, as
The-
per our code.
the two-story portion of the
Yes.
building will, right?
Yes.
Okay, and because it's two-story, we won't really see the other buildings that are back behind it.
Well, the other buildings they're removing, so they're going to put all the proposed units into that two-story, because prior it was one story with
Okay.
those units in the back.
Okay, got you. Now I think I'm understanding this a little better. Okay, thank you for that. Council, do we have questions? Madam Mayor?
I do. Thank you so much, Madam Chairman. Mr. Gray, on the proposed site plan, let me see the page, it has non-climate controlling single-story building. So did they change and they're just one
Our
section?
backup still has the old information.
Oh, okay.
Is that,
I'm sorry?
are we going to get an update for that?
I'm sorry?
Are we going to get an updated application? Because our backup still shows the old.
No, because they have the ability to design the way they want to. What we're reviewing right now is
Okay.
allowing them to have the storage space.
So we're just voting tonight on the land use.
Correct.
Special land use permit. We're
But
not
just to
voting
give
on
you
what they're-
information of how it looks, because of the topo, they are removing all those units in the rear of the property.
Okay, so then at a future date, then we'll see that design plan, and we'll have a chance to discuss that as well.
Once you vote yea or nay, no.
Maybe I misunderstood then, because I thought you said that they would work with us on design.
During
Work
the
with you
development.
guys. Correct.
Yes.
That's what I mean. Okay,
Yes, yes.
okay. Did you have any more questions? No, was that all of the conditions?
Yes.
Okay. Were there any more questions, council? No? Did the applicant have anything to add to it? No, not at this time? Okay. Council, with that being said, I make a motion then that we approve item 24-415.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilman Watts. It's been properly moved and second, moved by the Chair, Councilmember Nicole Miller, and second by Councilmember Chris Watts, to approve item 24-415 with the stipulations and clarification that our employee, I was going to do a title, but Community Development Senior Staff is something. Tell me, what is it, Mr. Gray?
My title?
Yes, sir.
Planning and Zoning Administrator.
That. To approve item 24-415. Do we have any other concerns or questions as relates to this development? Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Okay, the majority rules are 3, 4, and 1 against, so item 24-415 is approved by majority. Thank you so much.
Madam Mayor, that is all that we have this evening for planning and development.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Miller. You have the next committee, which is Public Improvement and Beautification.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business this evening in public improvement and beautification.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, if you don't mind, I'll give you the next two committees, as we have some council members that are not in this evening. Public Relations Committee.
Yes, Madam Mayor, there's no business under the Public Relations Committee at this time.
Thank you. Public Safety Committee.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. There's no business under the Public Safety Committee at this time.
Thank you, sir. Recreation, Culture, and Tourism Committee, chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business tonight under Recreation, Culture, and Tourism.
Thank you, sir. Technology Committee, chaired by Councilmember Elena Hudson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business this evening under technology.
Thank you. While we're over there, do you mind doing Transportation Committee for me, Ms. Hudson?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no business under the Transportation Committee this evening.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. Do we have any other business to come before council tonight from the council members, elected officials? No? I don't see any. Okay, so we will move on. So that's next week. Our retreat is coming up. It is next week. Okay, well, we have retreat next week, council members. And we look forward to what we do at the top of the year, kind of our planning opportunity for the year. So that's the only announcement that I have for us to put that in the forefront of our minds and put it on our calendars. So now we'll move on to item 21, updates from our city staff. Our city attorney, Mr. Joel Dotson.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Dotson. Staff attorney, Ms. Miranda Jordan.
No business, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Our chief of police, Dr. Gary Sparks.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, chief. Our city manager, Ms. Marcia Hampton.
Yes, ma'am. Just a reminder of several dates that you have. Friday, we have a special ribbon cutting for you all for Jesse Davis Park on February 7th, starting at 11 o'clock. So if there are any questions that you may have, Mr. Bass is here and Mr. Jason Post. Also, a reminder that your planning session is February 11th and 12th. Ms. Tate will send out that information to you all. And then you also have council meeting on February 13th. So we have a busy February, followed by February 17th, your voting meeting. And then my final announcement, I'll ask Ms. Burdette to stand up for you all to congratulate your newest public services director for the city of Douglasville. So her first official day this week.
Aw.
Absolutely. That's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much, city manager. We appreciate you, and congratulations. It's so good to see our new, we're not going to tell Mr. Gregg that you're prettier than he was, but, you know. It's good to see you. Thank you, Miss Melissa. She's putting out fires already, so welcome, and we just look forward to working more with you, and congratulations again. I don't know if there are very many women that are directors in public services, are there, city manager?
I would say not, and I would say there are very few in the state of Georgia, if many. Probably less than, is there less than 20? Two, there are two.
It's two?
It's two, so you can definitely congratulate her that she is one. So are you one of two, or are you the third? So she's one of two in the state of Georgia.
Wow, congratulations. I know you'll be focused. I've already asked you to be the feature for Chapel Hill's News and Views for Women's History Month, so the community will have an opportunity to learn more about you too, Ms. Melissa. Congratulations, that's wonderful. Girl power, no defense.
Hey, this is a city that's already proven that many times over. We have a woman mayor, we have a woman city manager, assistant city manager.
CFOs, yeah.
And so I think we're pretty
Attorney.
trailblazing as far as that goes, and can be quite proud of that, so.
Aw.
No shy on the men. Our
That's
men
right.
Do
We're
an
not talking
excellent
about
job, Chief. Come on, Mr. Bass, Mr. Davis. I don't want to shut them out. Our males.
Yeah,
all of
Mr.
the men for the city
Dotson.
do an excellent job.
And somebody has to open up the jars.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you for the community allowing us to have a little fun, but we are proud of Miss Melissa. So now's the opportunity, comments from citizens and delegates. If you sustain the meeting, please come forward, give us your name and address for the record, and you have an opportunity to speak to myself and council. You have 5 minutes to talk about anything germane to the city of Douglasville.
Since you're honoring women, I thought I'd come up. But
Well, you're always welcome. Come on, Miss Cindy.
my name is Cindy Welch. I reside at 3002 Concord Way, Douglasville.
Yes,
I have a
ma'am.
question on the mini warehouses. I never heard how many units there were going to be.
Coach Watts, this is your committee. I don't think at this time they were giving us a count.
They did last
They did
week.
last
Yes,
week.
ma'am.
Oh, that
We
was
went over it last week, but now it's
Miller.
going to change just a little bit, because now it will only,
I see 481.
It's 483.
okay.
483?
Yeah, that was
That was-
last week.
But they're not all climate controlled,
Yeah.
is that true?
Now they,
Are they-
now they
They'll
will
all
be.
Okay.
Now they
okay.
will be. So they'll all be in one building that, like a brick
So it's going to
building,
be multi-story?
2 stories.
Two
Yes,
story,
ma'am.
okay. Thank you.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
I have another comment. When you put something up here, you're looking at a site plan, and I know I've asked this before. Is it possible for the audience to see that site plan?
I don't know
The
if it's
current system that
required.
we have doesn't allow for that. And oftentimes, you all have multitude of attachments, so you would just have to tell us if you want to do some type of specific presentation to show those.
Now, when you're pulling up attachments on the city's website where the agenda is there, can you see the attachments from that portal?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, the citizen can click on it and see it, just
Okay.
not here on this screen.
Okay.
Well-
So with our current system, it sounds like you'll have to bring your own computer or iPad. Like
Yeah,
we'll
because
see
it's
that.
54 pages. Like for this one there, it's
Yeah.
54 pages.
Yes, ma'am.
But that's the whole thing. If this is just be a survey that would show the property and where the buildings are going to be. And I asked this last year, and someone back there said, oh, yeah, we can do that. But so far, it hasn't happened.
Right.
I mean,
so-
we don't want to see all the pages and read all the stuff you all have to read. But it would be nice to be able to see the site plan.
Right, but the pages that you want to see may not be the pages that someone else wants to see. So determining which pages to print is going to be hard to do. And as Madam City Manager just said, the current system that we have won't allow us to do that right now. But hopefully in the, coming future, we'll get updates and maybe we'll be able to do that. It just
Okay.
depends on how
Yeah.
cost-effective that is.
I just figure they have to submit a survey, one survey that shows the property lines, the
Right.
street, and where they're going to put the buildings or drives. And that would be the only thing that
Right.
most of us would care
Right.
to
But
see.
as Ms. Hampton said, like, you can go online before you come to, and you can pull them up and see it too. And then that way, when you get here, because I know you always get here a few minutes before the meeting, you can ask us to show you
So I'd
anything
have to go
before you-
through 54 pages to find it?
I know.
Okay.
If we have them labeled, so if you were to go in, like tonight, you can see where it says site plan, we have them all labeled. If you wanted to bring an iPad, you probably do it on your phone, it may be a little bit small, but you can.
Okay, but it won't show up on the screen?
No, these are not tied directly to what they have in their attachments, it's a different platform.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you.
Well, thank you, Ms. Welch. Any other comments from citizens and delegates? Thank you. I don't see any. If we don't have any other business to come before council tonight, then this meeting is adjourned.